What's up, guys? KAMIKAZE-FOX coming to you from HTA RL, hit the Apex Racing League. This is going to be round 5, Australia of the Assists League. And I've got my good buddy co-commentator Ozone with me for another exciting round of Formula 1 F1 2019 on the PS4 platform. Ozone, Australia is an interesting track. It's not a permanent track. And I want to know what your thoughts are on strategy going into today's race.
Well, if you start on the soft tyre, I think it is a 2-stop, but if you start on the mediums, you can comfortably do a 1-stop. And if you're starting on the softs and you want to try and push the hards until the end of the Grand Prix, then it's going to be really tricky because I don't think it'd work. So you have to pit again. So if you're on the softs, I'd say soft, medium, medium, and if you're on the mediums, I'd say either do medium, medium, soft, or the medium to hard strategy. So it should be a good race. Got 16 drivers. Don't know if they're waiting for more, but it should be fun.
Well, 16 drivers so far. We'll run down the driver list. We'll start with Fozzie Wazzie Dog 1 in the McLaren. He's had a rough season so far. He's got a couple of DNFs to his credit. Hasn't put any points on the board just yet. Feared by Gaming, another one who is having a rough season. He's batting 1,000. He's 4 for 4. He's been in 4 races and has 4 DNFs. He leads the league in DNFs, unfortunately, in the Factor Renault. AB53 Mo is in the Haas championship points leader. V Rita in the Racing Point. He's coming off of a DNF from last round as well. And then Maxie Wilcox is going to be in the Toro Rosso. Epic the Animal in the Factor Renault. Khalifa's making a return today. He missed last round, but he'll be back in the Mercedes today. Carbon Khan in the McLaren. And KCG, championship points contender. He actually came across the line first last week, but the win was credited to Dan Thompson after post-race penalties. We'll talk about that in just a moment. We've got Ozone Nola in the Ferrari. Ben Gallagher is in the other Mercedes. Try and Catch in the Haas. Chaz Meister 44, that's Charlie Sampson in the Red Bull Racing. Q-Tip, the 2-time HTA F1 champion, is in the Williams. Harry Cooper is in the Ferrari, and then Sippy is not in a car just yet. I'm still trying to get clarification as to whether or not he's actually racing today. There were some rumors floating about before the race that he wouldn't make it, and he is here. Looks like we're waiting on one other driver maybe to show up, but coming off of Hockenheim, Ozone, that was a really interesting race to try and watch and commentate. KCG did come across the line first, but post-race penalties actually moved Dan Thompson into the winning position. So Dan Thompson picks up his first win of the season last time out. Harry Saunders walked away with his first pole position for HTA, and KCG was subsequently dropped to second. Now, that was KCG's 3rd podium of the year, which has kept him in contention. And then David Wallbank, that is Art and Senna 1812, who is this guy right here. That's David Wallbank, had the driver of the day vote last week, finished 3rd. Epic the Animal was 4th. Sippy was 5th. Carbon Khan had a really good run from 20th to 6th. Ben Gallagher was 7th. Try and Catch was 9th. Try and Catch was 8th. Gad was 9th. And Maxie Wilcox was 10th. TC13 came home 11th. Kimmy was 12th. Charlie Sampson 13th. Harry Saunders, even though he started on pole, dropped all the way back to the 14th spot. And then 15th on through 20th was nothing but DNFs. Harry Cooper, AB53 Mo, Rita, Sloppy G, Feared by Gaming, and Fozzie Wazzie, unfortunately, with another DNF. And it looks like we're going to have a pretty full grid again going into today's race. Australia. Think it'll be a race of attrition, kind of like Hockenheim was?
Yeah, it's just going to be a lot of sweating evolving around all the drivers. Luckily, I'm not doing that this evening. Luckily, I'm in the commentary box, but this is a really tough race. You have to be on it for every corner, every braking point. You have to be really accurate because being be treated with grass or even gravel if you're on wide, and the curbs are not nice on this track. Turn 2 is a very easy place to lose the back end as well as the exit because that's really deadly curb, and as well as turn 5, the flat out corner before the end of sector 1, that can easily catch drivers out. But this should be a really good race. Nice to see a fellow Ozone Sim Racing driver here in Ozone Nola. It's not like I'm one of the main figures at Ozone Sim Racing, but there we are. that's for another story. But it should be a good race around Australia, and it should be a lot of good fun.
And speaking of attrition, you picked out a lot of good spots on track that can definitely call out some cars and some drivers. And obviously a very narrow track. It's not a permanent circuit. It's a temporary circuit around the island or the park that they have over there in Australia that they run this at. So looks like
Albert Park.
Yes, Albert Park, thank you. And looks like we are getting some confirmation. TC13 is joining the race. Sippy is not going to join the race today. He did speak that he wouldn't be racing anymore in the Assists League. He's actually doing 3 other leagues that he races in, and he's also an administrator for HTA. So he's trying to cut back a little bit, focusing on the administrative part of running this and racing in the other leagues. So Sippy will be stepping out of the lobby. Hopefully that doesn't glitch the lobby.
Yeah, I hope no. But I've racing. I'm currently racing in 2 leagues. Come on, man. Driving a 4th, will you? But it does make sense. Sippy is doing a lot of work behind the scenes. If he is racing in 3 leagues, fair enough to him. He has to prioritise the other leagues.
And it looks like we have another driver, SHR Ninja 25. Not familiar with who that is. Looks like he might be making his debut for this season. And Harry Cooper's getting instructions to go into the Red Bull. So Harry Cooper's another driver. A lot of drivers here do a lot of double duty. You just spoke of, you race for a number of leagues, and obviously Sippy does at least 3 that we know of, and he's an administrator for this one. But a lot of these guys, I know Charlie Sampson, Harry Cooper, they do multiple leagues, as well as Maxie Wilcox. So there's a number of drivers here that race in IRL and HTA and possibly more beyond that I don't know. So double duty for a lot of these guys, triple duty in some cases. And obviously you yourself being a sim racer.
And a commentator at the same time. Nothing wrong with a bit of multitasking.
Yeah, I myself, I primarily do commentating. I don't race very much. I'm not very good at it. So, as they say, those who can't race often talk about it. So that's my job.
Well, that's why I've quickly converted into this. Then it must be, got to be. But I was doing a couple of laps around the time trial a couple of weeks ago, and I set a 20.9. So I'd like to see Paul be a little bit faster than that. If not, then I might just come out of retirement. But,
maybe you should pick a different seat.
Yeah, I might have to pick a different seat if I'm faster than Paul time. But yeah, if it's drivers again into the low 20s, that's very impressive. But low 21s, high 20s, mid 20s, somewhere around there, and you could be on for a really good qualifying.
And we do have an 18-car grid, which is another great turnout for HTA. The average car count this year has been about 17 cars a race. That being said, average DNFs per race is 6, so the attrition rate is rather high. We do have Animal ST joining us on the live chat once again this week. Always good to have a fan in the stands. By all means, like, subscribe, and comment to the YouTube channel and get caught up on all the prior races. You can also check out the Elite League, which is no assists, so definitely for the big boys, as we get ready to do an 18-minute short qualifying session, followed by a 50% race, and Fear by Gaming has already left the session. Possible internet issue.
Yeah, so everyone's just coming out with their laps. You see, only the minute gone in this qualifying session, and little fact about SHR. They are officially a team, but they don't. Well, I'm not going to say they don't take it seriously. They all do league racing, but they don't. They don't matter about results. They don't want to be taking it extra seriously. They don't want to see all their drivers win. I was speaking to another member of SHR in the week, doing comments with them, and he's just saying, it's just a friendly little team, just all do league racing. And a little bit of that element does go into Warzone as well, but, maybe myself might take it a little bit more competitively. But there we are. Yet again, that's for another story. As a big amount of cars in the last sector. Who's going to get a clean run as we see Ayrton Senna behind his teammate, also Nola.
And it looks like SHR Ninja is going to be the first guy to cross the line and start a timed lap. And as you said, there's a lot of cars in that Sector 3 area, and they're all going to be bunched up together coming across the start-finish to start their hot laps. Kind of surprised to see that many cars jump out on the opening minute. I've never seen so many cars go out on an out lap at the same time. But SHR Ninja definitely went out first, and he's got nothing but clear track ahead of him.
Yeah, he's got a clear track. 26.9, I believe his first sector was. So that's very impressive. Someone else who's...
Already have a yellow flag in Sector 1. Looks like they've got a car around. Must be one of the Toro Rossos.
It's Max. I think he's just letting a couple of drivers by. Might have been out of his lap or something all messed up. He's just letting the drivers go and out laps while he's on his out lap. The Ninja is doing okay in this opening lap of qualifying. Obviously all the others are still in the middle and first sector.
Now Ninja's coming through the penultimate corner. See what kind of time he can set as he comes across the line. And he is going to be looking at a 1:21.673 on the medium tires.
And Ayrton Senna 1812 has lost it at the exit of the fast left-right, and I've done that multiple times. So
yeah, that is a brutal spot on the track. That is David Wallbank, who had a great run last week to third. Podium spot. Looks like he's going to be starting at the rear of the grid today. And SHR 25 Ninja has left the session, so I wonder if he's having internet issues as well. And you see his time did not stand very long as Ozone Nola came across at a 1:21.222, and Rita cracks into the 120s, 120.831, head to the top of the charts. And KCG, his championship contender, KCG obviously got caught up in some traffic. You see his time is a 1:28.125. That is very well off the pace, especially for somebody of his caliber. And he's already invalidated this next lap, so he's not on a timed lap as of right now.
Well, it's nice to see, again, bragging about my East Coast team as usual as Ninja rejoins. Nice to see Nola up in P2 as it stands. Obviously, only a third of the grid setting laps so far. But, it's nice to see a low 21 to start off with. I'll give him a lot of confidence. With Ritter in the racing point at 20.8, that is a really good lap to start off the qualifying session. Wait for the other drivers to come round and finish off their laps.
Well, a lot of them have been invalidated. I'm currently watching AB53 Mo. He's one of the few drivers that is on a timed lap that hasn't been invalidated yet. He's also one of two drivers on the hard tires. So we'll see what kind of time he can set on the hards and what the difference will be between that and the softs. Oh, but he's going to dive into the pits. So he's not going to set a time on the hards, and Feared by Gaming has rejoined. So a couple of guys seem like they've got some internet issues. Meanwhile, while that was happening, Carbon Con did set a time at a 1:22.555, good enough for 6th. Q-Tip, the two-time HTA Formula 1 champion, is 1:22.421 in 5th. And Harry Cooper, 1:22.292.
And just witnessing Max doing a qualifying lap on intermediate tyres. I don't know if that was a mistake by Max, or he genuinely thought the intermediates could do it, but I don't think they were, as he peels off into the pits. That was very entertaining as Epic comes around the final corner. Let's see what the Renault can do. So 120.5
wow, 125.32.
Very good lap.
Great lap by Epic the Animal, and Feared by Gaming has left the session again, so he continues to have internet struggles. And what a lap by Epic, 120.5.
Yeah, that's a very impressive lap time. No, that's two people who have beaten my time trial lap around Australia. That put some daggers to my heart. A little bit heartbroken now, but it's a very good lap by Epic. Very, very neat job of a lap around Albert Park, and that's how you should do it. As it stands on pole with only 11 minutes left.
And Animal ST cheering on his buddy, Epic the Animal. So he says, my boy. We'll see if Epic can retain that spot. We're watching KAMIKAZE right now in the McLaren. He's currently 7th quickest. A lot of drivers into the pits now, and a lot of guys coming back out on their out laps. Caution flag flying in Sector 2. But it looks like KAMIKAZE had the fastest first sector so far. So he's on quite a lap here as he heads through Sector 2.
I don't think that is correct. I think the game's giving you false information for that. He's a little bit off on the first sector. Just check the race director.
Possibly his personal best then.
I think it might be his personal best. As I think that's one of the Hasses. That might have been 53 Mo. No, it wasn't. It was a try and catch.
Oh, and he blows the penultimate corner. That's going to cost him some time. He's going to come across. It's going to be close. 1:22.036, so he's a half-second quicker of his previous time. Jumps up to 5th and blows it going into the first corner.
Yeah. He's done 4 laps on those tyres, apparently. As Ozonova has retired the car. I think that is the start of Sector 2 at the chicane. I can see how he's binned it there, but obviously I can't see how because I can't see what's happened to his Ferrari. But disappointed in session. He's really
looks
good
like he's gone around there. I saw his car on the side there as I picked up KCG. And yellow flag Sector 1 and 2.
I think that's KAMIKAZE just slowing down. Well, you know, both Ninja and Ridder both started the lap. They both went into the pits. It's a really interesting one. They've ruined a set of tyres for qualifying. Harry is apparently 9/10 up on his personal best middle sector. Well, I don't know about that one. It might be just a lap in general. As he goes into the penultimate corner, as that is Khalifa goes up to P4 with a 121.5. See what LR Harry can do as he exits zone, opens the DRS.
Slot open for Harry Cooper as he comes across the line at a 1:29.55, good enough for 3rd.
As Fierberg Gaming has rejoined the session. And that's AB53 Mo slotting in P9 on the medium tyres.
I'm going to pick up KCG, your championship points contender, and he is starting a hot lap now. We're going to ride along with him. Currently a 1:28.125. Obviously got held up in traffic on his opening hot lap. We had so many cars go out on an out lap at the same time, and he was a part of that. Epic, who has been off and on this season, but he's got a 1:25. That is the time to beat. KCG going to try and do his best as he's coming through this right and left chicane, down the dogleg backstretch, and then you get this very high-speed left-right juncture.
Interesting to see he's taking that in 7th gear there. Personally, if you want to give a nose in, you shift on to 6th, but it's nice to see KCG with confidence, sticking the car in 7th and flying through as he comes into the final sector, but going to all the corners. A Haas in front of them.
And Try and Catch is trying to start a hot lap.
Give him a little bit of a slipstream as they go down the back straight. They definitely will.
KCG is going to come across the line 1:29.33. Not good enough for pole.
So our current pole sit by Epic the Animal and the Renault is about to start another fly-in lap. So we're interested to see what he gets on. Can he improve on that to 1:20.5 and extend his lead, which is just under 0.3 of a second, as he goes down the second DRS zone into turn 3.
And Epic has shown flashes of speed throughout the course of the season so far. He actually has a podium to his credit back at round 1 in Bahrain. He was 6th at round 2, and then he was 4th again at Spa, and then last week he came home with another 4th. So he's been trying to nip at the heels of the front runners, hasn't quite gotten there, but maybe today's the day he can put this car on pole.
as Ben Gallagher in the Mercedes sets a 121.5 to go P8. I think Epridge just backed out on his lap, which is a bit unfortunate.
Well, he's invalidated the lap according to the track map, so he'll have to come around and try it again. Less than 6 minutes to play in the session here. We'll pick up SHR Ninja 25.
Rid in the racing point is a tenth and just over a tenth and a half up in the middle sector. See what he can do as he approaches the kind of flat out corner, which is the one before the penultimate.
And he's caught up to the backside of this McLaren. The McLaren dives off into the grass to get out of the way. Oh my goodness! And Ninja loses the back end of the car.
As,
he saved it. He comes through the penultimate corner. Oh, look at this. Rita with a 124.57 who just came across the line. Here comes Ninja. Ninja's going to be close. 128.13. It jumps him into third. So Rita snags pole position for now. Provisional pole to 120.4. That drops Epic to second, who has dived into the pits. Ninja just went to third spot. So that drops KCG and Harry Cooper down to fourth and fifth. Now there's still a few drivers that have yet to set a time. Charlie Sampson, TC13, and Feared by Gaming. And then obviously Arden Senna 1812. That is the infamous David Wallbank. He will be starting at the rear of the field. He was the first one to crash out of this session. Him and his teammate Ozone Nola both out. So a rough day for Alfa Romeo so far. Actually, that would be Ferrari. It was Ferrari. Wallbank's in a Ferrari, says Ozone. So yeah, rough day for Ferrari. At least Ozone was able to lock in a time at a 121.222, which has still been good enough for sixth. So it's a pretty respectable time so far.
Yeah, at least I know what car my Ozone drivers are in. At least I know that. It's actually a really good lap from Ozone Nola, but unfortunate to retire early on in the session. He could potentially be down outside of the top 10, which would be a bit disappointing. Depends what drivers do on their final lap. As TC13.92 he's on his first lap. He hasn't set one so far. Down in P17. See what he can do. In the racing point, just forgot what car he was in. As Feared by Gaming is retired from the session, I think that is the exit of turn 10, where TC is. Oh, it's a pretty interesting one where he's crashed it there. He's either lost a lot of traction going up the gears, and he's left the session again, which is very interesting. Well, he might have some internet connection issues. As, I'm still on board with TC13 as he tries to complete this lap now. He's one of the only people on track. There's a select few with 3 minutes left of this qualifying session. See what TC can do.
Oh, and he's going to dive into the pits. That's not good news for TC13 because there's less than 3 minutes to play in the session. He's going to have to make whatever changes he wants really quick, get back out, do an out lap, and hopefully have enough time to come across the line and start an actual hot lap. Otherwise, he's going to be starting at the rear of this field. So just about everybody into the pits. Carbon Con's one of the few drivers out on track. And it looks like he's
well as there's a couple of drivers on outlaps. Q-Tip and the Sister Williams to Ninja. He's about to start a lap actually.
So yeah. Carbon Con is about half second up over his previous time as he heads through Sector 3.
And here come a few more drivers. Gets Alika in the Mercedes, and I didn't see who the Alpha. Oh, it was KCG. In fact, all about to start their own laps. Now
it's about to be a very, very busy track here in the last 2 minutes of this session. Here comes Carbon Con to see what kind of time he can set. And a 121.923. It's a tenth quicker than what he posted before. That's also his fourth lap. Actually, it was his first lap on a new set of softs, and he's going to dive off into the gravel. And it looks like he might call it a day at a 120.923. Good enough for 10th so far.
Yeah, so the entirety of the top 5 all out on out laps. So it should be very interesting to see what drivers do. Max in P7 is on a flying lap as TC1392 just retired from the session. I think Chasmeister 44 won't be signing a lap in this qualifying session as there's only a minute left and he's still in the pits. But Max has been very unfortunate here. There's a few cars in front of him. One of them being Ben Gallagher, the other one being the Renault of Epic, and the third being a Williams, I believe. Oh no, it was a Red Bull. One of them was a Red Bull as well, which I didn't spot. But Max is going 3.5 tenths up in the middle sector as he opens the DRS for the third time since starting the lap.
Well, Maxie has just set his personal best in Sector 2. Ninja's retired from the session. We're currently watching Maxie Wilcox in the Toro Rosso. Oh my goodness, and he almost gets into the back of the Renault. I don't know if that must have been epic.
That must have been very close for Max there as he's about to come across the line. He's into the 1 minute 20, he's up to P5's good lap by Max as he retires from the session. He thinks he can't improve on that with only 5 seconds left.
And now here comes Epic. So Epic starting his last hot lap. And Q-Tip, looks like Q-Tip is off the pace, so his time's going to be locked in at that 1:28.08. Epic, we're going to ride along with him. He's heading into Sector 2 now. He's a tenth and a half up over his previous time. That would be enough to take pole, just about.
But Ritza's about a tenth up as well, so that won't be enough. Oh, and he's in fact put it into the wall at the exit of turn. So the exit of the fast chicane is now for Romeo. I think that might have been KCG who just spun it as well. So it's all happened, and the man that's currently on pole might have just balled it. Huge opportunity for Epic here to snatch pole.
And Epic is coming along. He's at the section 3 of the track. Last few corners. He needs to watch those outside lines and make sure he doesn't drop those tires too far. Doesn't want to invalidate the time. Coming through the penultimate corner now. Trying to get the power down. A little bit of oversteer. Oh, and he goes very deep and cuts it very wide. He's giving it everything he's got. Here he comes across the line. Oh, and he's off the pace. 1:25.32. Not good enough to snatch pole position, but good enough to start on the front row.
And KCG down in P7. He spun at the exit turn 11, just where our pole setter crashed at the end of qualifying, which is a bit interesting actually. I could see a racing point in the wall, and then there's an Alfa Romeo spinning at the same time. But that's the end of qualifying.
So Rita picks up another pole position. That is going to be his second pole of the season. Epic the Animal starting in second. Q-Tip in third. SHR Ninja is fourth. Maxie Wilcox fifth. Try and Catch is sixth. KCG seventh. Harry Cooper is eighth. Ben Gallagher ninth. And Ozone starting 10th. Khalifa starting in the 11th spot. Carbon Con is 12th. AB53 Mo 13th. Fozzie Wazzie 14th. David Wallbank starting in 15th. No time set by him. And so get to the rest of the running order here on the formation lap. And Nola Fema is on the live chat. I'm assuming that is Ozone Nola. He's shouting, "Why? Why?" So this should be a relatively interesting race. HTA RL has not... it's been a fairly exciting season so far. I mean, the front runners have been back and forth. I'm kind of surprised Khalifa starting all the way down the 11th spot. He has shown flashes of speed this year as well. He qualified on pole back at Bahrain in round 1. Unfortunately, he finished 9th that race, and he had a 6th place finish at Spa. So he's got a little bit of speed. I'm surprised to see him all the way back in the 11th spot.
Yeah, so it should be a very good Grand Prix as we're waiting for drivers to ready up. Hate this time waiting for other drivers. It's not what I want. And so let's start the formation lap.
Formation lap. So starting on pole position for the second time this year is V Rita. He's also your championship points leader. Starting behind him is going to be Epic the Animal. He's going to try and snatch a win away from the racing point of V Rita. Meanwhile, your two-time Formula One champion here at HTA RL, Q-Tip, is starting in the third spot. He's proven to be very fast. And another Williams behind him, SHR Ninja 25, making his HTA RL debut this season. Starting in the fourth spot, Maxie Wilcox is in fifth. He's shown flashes of speed this year as well. He'll be looking to try and work his way through the field, maybe snatch a podium away. Try and catch, coming off of an 8th place finish last time out at Spa. Are going to be trying to score some points again today. And KCG starting deep in the field, 7th spot for him, 2nd in points this season. Came across the line first last week, but ended up in 2nd spot to post-race penalties. He's going to try and make up for that today. And Harry Cooper, who's proven to be very quick in IRL and HTA, he's coming off of a DNF. It was his first one of the season. Hopefully he'll put some points on the board today. And Ben Gallagher's had a bit of an up and down season. He was given a warning after last race. Oh no, we see one of the Haas's has gone into the wall. And Ben Gallagher, though.
Try and catch the Haas that spun on the formation lap.
Not a good way to start your race. So Ben Gallagher will be starting in 9th. Ozone Nola is in the Ferrari. He'll be starting in 10th spot. So his time, even though he crashed out, it was good enough to get him into the top 10. Khalifa starting in 11th. We talked about him a couple minutes ago. Deep in the field for him. Carbon Khan coming off of a great run last week where he started 20th, ended up 6th. He'll be looking to do it again today as he starts deep in the field. And AB53 Mo, not a great qualifying session for him, starting in the 13th spot. Fozzie Wazzie still trying to score some points this year. Hasn't been able to do it just yet. Actually, I take that back. He did score 1 point round 3 at Spa. It's the only point he's scored so far this year. David Wallbank starting in the 15th spot. Coming off of a driver of the day run last week where he picked up 3rd spot. Charlie Sampson will be starting in the 16th position. TC13 in the 18th spot. And Feared by Gaming, I believe, is not going to be classified. His car is in the pits, and he will not participate in today's race.
There we go. We're in for the 5 red lights.
Five lights. Lights are out. Time to run what you brung. And they're off away to puff of smoke. And it looks like Epic got a great start as he's got the lead heading down into turn 1. And Rita is going to lose out on that. And there's some shuffling going on in the back. KCG's trying to move up a spot. They're side by side as they head down. And Khalifa's down in the 12th spot. He's lost the spot.
Oh,
and around goes one of the Williams. And who is that?
That is Ninja.
Harry Cooper. Oh, Harry Cooper, Maxie Wilcox make contact. They're off at turn 3 at the Sports Center.
I think they took try and catch as well with them. It's a bit of an almighty collision as the safety car has been deployed.
Safety car on the opening lap.
That's a very good start for Epic. But Ella Harry has either misjudged his braking zone going into the turn 3 hairpin, and he's taken a couple of drivers out there. He's taken try and catch, who's unfortunately hit Max, which is more unfortunate for the Toros driver. I bet he's not happy with that. But that's just really silly from the Red Bull driver. He shouldn't be doing that. He should know better, especially for an experienced league racer like him. But he should be doing better than that. He shouldn't be misjudging his braking zone. But what a very good start for Epic in the Renault. Very good start.
Now the question is, does any of the front runners make a pit stop and switch over to a different compound?
Looks
like no takers.
2 good starts to this Grand Prix. It's been KCG, also jumped up to P4, as well as Ozone Nola, who's jumped from 10th to 4th. I am saying this with a really nice smile on my face. It's a very good start for the Ozone driver. Hopefully he can keep this up as the leaders are all going to safety car now.
So it looks like there's some radio chatter going on behind the scenes, and it looks like I believe it was Maxie had some choice words for try and catch. So perhaps try and catch was the starter of that. Hard to say.
I don't think it was try and catch his fault. I know it looked like on his screen that it would have been, but I think Harry did miss his braking zone, collected case try and catch, sorry, and Max just got collected, which is very unfortunate. With less than a sector into the Grand Prix, being sent to the gravel like that, losing your front wing, but the safety car does make it a little bit more bearable is the word we're trying to find, and hopefully he can catch up to the back of the field.
And let's talk about David Wallbank. He's managed to work his way up to 8th on that opening lap, made it through the melee, and it looks like his car is relatively unscathed through all that. So he started deep in the field. He didn't set a qualifying time. He crashed out early, so up to the 8th spot for Wallbank, and his teammate Ozone running in 5th. So I'd say you got to be pretty happy about that for the Ferrari team.
Yeah, especially Sando's in P15, I believe. A very good start to come up to P8, and Ozone Lola. If he can keep this up, then I might have to send him a nice little message at the end of this Grand Prix. But positive start from P10. It's not the nicest of places to start at. If you can get away from any incidents, you can surely gain a couple of positions on lap 1. Safety car, it looks like it was seen out for one more lap. As mostly most of the field have caught up with it.
As I say, it looks like they're all packed up at this point. This should be the last lap for the safety car. And I don't think one HTA race has gone by where we haven't seen a safety car. We talked about it a little bit earlier. The average DNFs in this race is, or the average DNFs this season per race has been 6. And Charlie Sampson picks up a 5-second time penalty for exceeding the track limits under the safety car. That is one thing we've definitely seen a lot of this year, is mistakes under the safety car. You're a driver in the virtual world. I know this game tries to be as realistic as possible. Is it worth trying to put so much heat into your tires? So a lot of these guys have been making mistakes under safety car conditions. Is it worth taking the risk?
Well, it's not just the fact of warming your tires up. It can take a little bit of blame if you're behind the car and you're doing an unexpected move in front of you. That happens a lot. But if you're in the lead, there's no exceptions. If you're in the top 5, there's definitely no exceptions. But further down, it can get a little bit very close. In fact, in the midfield, so you can see drivers maybe doing something unexpected. You might force another driver wide, make them cut the corner. They could be handed a penalty, but it might have just happened to the Red Bull. But you know, as the safety car is coming in, we will get some racing, hopefully.
So that means Epic the Animal will become the control car as you see the AMG Mercedes safety car speed off. Epic will become the control car, and he can go whenever he feels fit. However, there is no passing before the start-finish line. Oh, that's how it's supposed to be. I don't know how it is in this league.
No, I think the rule is correct. You have to wait until the start of the next lap to do any overtaking. They're actually going quite a quick pace, so the safety car's only now peeling off into the pit lane, so he should be going. He's going to go now at the exit of the final corner. Let's see what happens, as there could be a slipstream fast here.
And so a good jump. Oh, and okay, I thought I saw a yellow flag, but I guess I was wrong. So good start by the top 3. And really the top 5, as they have now pulled away. Ben Gallagher is your 6th place car, and he is out there all by his lonesome. We see KCG trying to make a move to the outside of Q-Tip, but he wasn't close enough to make it work. And Ozone is all over the back of him.
As Cleaver and Senna having a little bit of a battle for P8 here. Cleaver did try and move on the Ferrari down the inside of the turn 3, but in fairness to Senna, he's just done a good defensive move there and a good exit. The top 5 are all in close proximity with each other. This could be in for a really good Grand Prix. Epic, it looked like he's pulled a little bit of a gap. There's yellow flags in sector 2.
Looks like that's Khalifa, maybe?
Yes, it is. Looks like he's lost a little bit of his front wing, which is a bit of a disappointment. Meanwhile, the scrap for P12 is heating up. As
AB53 Mo
has retired, and we have a second safety car, the Grand Prix, which is
and Mo is off. It looks like Mo's car was sitting in the middle of the track.
Yeah, it was the exit of turn 11. Like I said, one of the corners where you have to be careful, especially that outside curb. But in fact, Rita and Q-Tip both coming into the pit of this second safety car. What tyres they move on to, and Rita moves on to the mediums. while Q-Tip does the same. So that's just a pit stop. They don't think their tyres could last much longer once the safety car comes in.
So that's going to move KCG up into the second spot, Ozone into third, and Arton Senna 1812, that's David Wallbank. So that is third and fourth spot for the Ferrari team. Charlie Sampson getting up into the fifth spot.
Yeah, and the Ferrari started P10 and P15 respectively.
Now, Harry Cooper's the first driver. He is running in the 8th spot. He's the first driver that's made a pit stop. And that was under the first safety car.
As well as Max, he was pit stop for a change of front wing.
And you can see now, in the current pit sequence, Rita is the first driver to make a pit stop. He's got a fresh set of hards on there, so he's going to try and run them very long. And already, 2 safety cars, 1 DNF. Race is shaping up to be another race of attrition, and as they say, cautions breed cautions. Could this be a cause and effect? Are we going to see another one once the safety car goes in again?
Might be. It was commented in the League Race of Canada in the week, and it took 9 laps for DRS to be activated, so you know. It'd be interesting to see what everyone does. If there's a third safety car in quick succession at this restart, which should be at the end of the next lap, hopefully, then drivers just need to sort it out, all calm down. Races in 1 at turn 1, still have to be careful. It's Fozzie Wazzie in the McLaren, definitely one of the biggest jumpers, up to P7 where he started. He dives into the pits with Chasmeister. It's interesting there. Chasmeister on the medium tyres. He's going into the pits as Fozzie Wazzie picks up a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane.
And unfortunately, that is going to be AB53 Mo's third DNF of the season. And that is actually his second one in a row. So, not good news for AB53 Mo here at Australia or Hockenheim last week. As we see, Charlie Sampson has switched over to the hard tires as well. Fozzie Wazzie coming out, he switched over to the mediums.
So it should be interesting to see what happens to the restart. The top 3, if Rita and Q-Tip can all overtake the couple of cars that are in front of them, it could be interesting for the top 4, top 5 scrap. But should be interesting to see what happens to this restart.
And I want to give a bit of a shout out to David Wallbank. That's Arton Senna 1812 running in the 4th spot. Me and Wallbank have a bit of a history with each other. I've commentated for multiple leagues that he's been involved with, and he has been banned from all of them for his actions on track. And we always said that he had the potential to be a fast driver, but he was too hot-headed and too immature. And it looks like he's finally put his mentality together a little bit, so a 3rd place finish last time out. He's got another good run going today. It's good to see that he's finally maybe starting to get his act together and be a little bit more of a mature driver, and definitely showing the racing world what he can do. So shout out to David Wallbank, currently running in 4th. Hopefully he'll keep his cool with things as the season progresses, and hopefully he can come in with another podium today. But right now it's all about Epic the Animal. Going to be the control car once again, and he's got KCG breathing down his neck as these safety cars heading in this lap.
So yeah, it should be interesting to see where he goes this time. He's supporting Max in another league race in the week. A good result in fairness to him, and he had a couple of safety cars. It's a Ford interruption just as the safety cars about to restart. Unless the Ford was getting maybe a little bit excited, you just don't know with these days. There's Epic, I think he's going for it now. I think he's got a faster restart, but KCG might just react to it.
Looks like Casey's got a pretty good jump, and those two have been able to gap Ozone just a little bit.
KCG did lose the back end momentarily, but they look like they all spread out. There's not much room for an overtake. They're all too far behind. As in saying that, Ninja overtakes Ibricon to the McLaren for P11. Very nice move.
And Wallbank loses the back end of the Ferrari. Commentators curse. Oh no, and he's come across the track.
And he's taken Max with him, who hasn't got a front wing, which is another crucial blow for Max. He just can't have a break at the moment.
Oh no!
There's another crash.
That's the Haas. Who is that? Try and catch.
That's 53 moves out of the Grand Prix.
Oh my goodness!
And it's all gone wrong for Max this race.
And the safety car is out again, and oh my goodness, commentator's curse. I just gave praises to Wallbank. He lost the back end of the car coming out of that sweeping right-hander, crashed headfirst into the barrier, came back across the track, gets Maxie caught up in it, gets Try and Catch caught up in it, and that is just really unfortunate. Nobody around when it happened. That was just hard driving, I guess, trying to put the power down too quickly, and Wallbank lost it. And Epic looks like he's dived into the pits with KCG, TC13, so that's going to make Harry Cooper your leader. He's got 6 laps on his hard tires, and he pitted under the first safety car. This is now our 3rd safety car. And as they said, we talked about it, cautions breed cautions. I didn't think we would see one so soon. And Wallbank has just come across the radio and said that was unfortunate. And nobody to blame on that one but himself, unfortunately.
Yeah, so that's very unfortunate, especially for Max. And Try and Catch as well. I think he was anticipating the slow Toro Rosso. Grout defended a little bit, and that's what resulted in his spin. El Ahari, who caused all the shenanigans at turn 3 on the opening lap, is somehow in the lead of this Grand Prix. If someone told me that at turn 4 of lap 1, I'd most probably told you to be quiet and told you where to go. But somehow he's in the lead, with a 3rd safety car on a set of hard tyres, which are going to be not hardly barely worn.
Well, and that's the other thing. I mean, Harry Cooper's got 6 laps on those hard tires, but most of those laps have been under the safety car. I don't think they've done a full green flag lap since the first safety car came out.
We haven't had a complete lap, I don't think. There's Chaz Mister up to P6 again, as well as Khalifa's up to P5 after his spin. Both Mercedes, in fact, in the top 7. Fozzie was in 8th, and your pole set Epic was obviously pitted. He's in P9. Most of the field are pitted. All the field are pitted. Try and Catch and 3 stops in 9 laps. Well, let's keep kind of Max all on both on 2 stops for the rest of the field.
And you can see the difference in the safety car scenarios because Harry Cooper's got 7 laps. That was the first safety car, I believe. Then you had Q-Tick, who's got 4 laps on a set of softs. That was the second safety car. And then you've got Epic got 1 lap on his mediums. That's this safety car. So you can see who's pitted in which safety car sequence, basically the amount of laps that they have on their tires. And Harry Cooper has come out on top, and as you said, between all the shenanigans on lap 1, really to run to the front, but he hasn't really had to work his way through the field as much as just maintain his pace, and as the safety cars comes out, he's able to stay out. I mean, unfortunately, there hasn't been a whole lot of racing in this Australian Grand Prix.
Barely any racing, in fact. I think, will the safety car come in this lap, or will they throttle along for another lap? That's another question.
I would like to think it would come in. They've all grouped up. They're all bunched up. There's no need for the safety car to stay out. Unless the safety car predicts that there'll be another crash in another lap or 2. And there's race control. Safety car in this lap. So Harry Cooper will be the control car this time, and a 10-second time penalty for Ben Gallagher, exceeding the track limits under the safety car condition. And that is a huge blow for Gallagher, who's currently running in the 7th spot.
Easily done on that fast left-right chicane. Just turning a little bit too early. especially if you're slowing down in the safety car. See what Harry does as we restart for a third time. Well, technically the fourth start, but for a third restart from the safety car. Got my maths jumbled up. Let's see what happens here then. When will Harry go?
Cooper very slow. And now he's on the throttle. He tries to get the jump. He bunched up most of the field at that chicane, but look at this. Q-tip is all over his gearbox as they head down turn 1. And he's got the slipstream, and he's going to pull out, and he's going to dive to the inside, and he makes a little bit of contact with Cooper, and Cooper's into the grass. And he's going to come back out on track, and that is really unfortunate for Harry Cooper.
He joins the track in a safe manner, but he might get swamped for P7 by Epic. And Epic does get the move done easily, but he will try and fight back. Meanwhile, also know that all over the back of KCG. Just interesting to see what happens here.
Yellow flag sector 1. Looks like that's Fozzie Wazzie all by his lonesome now. Looks like he might have been taken out at turn 1, might have had some help. Meanwhile, Q-Tip is off to the races. He's out in front. He's got Rita all over the back of him, and behind Rita is the other Williams of SHR Ninja. Meanwhile, Khalifa has quietly worked his way into the 4th spot.
We might see an overtake for P2 as Ozone gets a 3-7 time penalty.
And Ben Gallagher is putting the pressure all over Charlie Sampson for the 5th spot. And remember, Gallagher's got that 10-second time penalty. And Epic is the first car. I guess he's not the first car in that sequence. No, he is the first car in that who made that pit stop on that last safety car. So he's only got 2 laps on his mediums. The Q-Tip just ran the fastest lap of this race.
Meanwhile, there's a bit of a scrap. Chaz Meister holding everyone up. Ben Gallagher, have a look on the inside.
Oh, that was close. It looks like they made contact. Epic's going to try and get the 2-for-1 deal coming out of turn 1. He tucks back into line. He's going to dive to the inside.
If Chaz saw Epic, Epic's going to have a look around the outside with the turn 4. He's pushed a little bit wide, but he's got the move done. That's very well moved by Epic.
And the back end slides out on Charlie Sampson's Red Bull. He's got his teammate Harry Cooper all over the back of him now.
As TC 92 picks up a turn penalty, I saw that corner, I saw what he did, and understandable, it's a clear one though. He's still going at it. Scrap for was P5, but they might turn to P6 as Epic looks to pull away.
Look at this KCG to the inside of Ben Gallagher. The dog leg backstretch.
This could help. Oh, and also unfortunately tapped Ben Gallagher. Might have lost a little bit of time. And unfortunately, he's in the gravel and you rejoin down in P14. Disappointment, he's in the hunt. And Ben, I think, just caught him by surprise by slowing down. Yellow flags in sector 3, and that's TC13, who's gone for a spin in the exit turn 13 as well. And he's left the session.
He's going to call it a day and retire the car. Whew. Pretty eventful restart.
Meanwhile, so Williams 1-2 up in front. No one had told me that would happen in 2020, but it is. Q-Tip and Ninja holding up the Williams guard is in P3. Khalifa in P4 have got about a 3-second gap to Epic the Animal in P5. And then comes this scrap as KCG has a look at Harry and the Red Bull. They go into the middle sector. Will Ben Gallagher catch up? And this is benefiting Max in P10 in the Toro Rosso on those hard tyres. As Ben Gallagher picks up
another 3-second time penalty. So that's on top of the 10 seconds that he already got under the yellow car. And I spoke about it briefly earlier, but Gallagher was given a warning from last race for aggressive driving. And the Red Bulls have come together. Oh my goodness!
And they both collided with each other.
Oh my goodness, and Charlie Sampson and Harry Cooper collide with each other, the 2 Red Bulls. Shades of Max Verstappen and Daniel Ricciardo at Baku all over again.
Golden rule of racing, never hit your teammate. Meanwhile, Q-Tip, who was in the lead of the Grand Prix, he is in the pits.
He dives into the pits.
The softs have run out of steam as he pits for a set of medium tyres.
Now that moves Epic up into the 4th spot, and the guy that's really going to capitalize on this, actually the 2 drivers that are going to capitalize on that, is Rita, who is running in 2nd, and Khalifa, who now finds himself in a podium position. But SHR Ninja 25, 8 laps on those softs. He's going to have to come in soon, and that's going to leave Rita in the catbird seat to retake the lead of this race. And we've got a virtual safety car because of all the melees that had happened on track. The 2 Red Bulls, the Ferrari, Ben Gallagher, the list goes on. A couple of guys diving into the pits. And the DRS is enabled, and we're back to green.
Brief little break from the green flag racing. Meanwhile, Max is all over. He's gained a lot of time on KCG there. I think KCG might be caught under guard as Ninja race leaders put the freezing time penalty for multiple warnings. Can Max sneak into the top 5 by overtaking one of the main championship contenders? Within DRS, he's only 8 tenths behind. Looks from afar. Yeah, meanwhile, Carbicon looks to go around the outside of Try and Catch going into turn 15.
Oh, Try and Catch is going to push him to the outside. Carbicon with a power move, though. He makes it work. Oh, but he drops the left side tires into the gravel.
So there's an opportunity for Try and Catch. Can you get him down the back straight as they're about to start lap 14?
And we're already halfway through this race, which has been really hard to catch my breath with everything that's going on. And Ninja just lost the top spot to Rita as they headed into turn 3 Sports Center section. So Ninja loses out, and he's on those very worn soft tires. Khalifa's going to be the next man coming down the track to get to him.
I think Ninja stayed out a little bit too long on those softs. He should have pitted at the end of lap 13. His Try and Catch picks up a 3-zone time penalty for warnings. He's still behind the McLaren in P7.
And Epic the Animal is closing in the gap to Khalifa, 3.5 seconds back. KCG's 3.5 seconds back from him. And Maxie's 2.5 seconds back from him. Maxie's been able to pull away from Carbon Con. He's gapped that by over a second. Carbon Con and Try and Catch still battling for the 7th spot, going back and forth with each other. And now Try and Catch is going to have the DRS advantage.
But Max has lost a considerable amount of time.
Maxie just lost a huge chunk of time.
He's lost a lot of time there.
And now it's a 3-car battle for the 6th spot. And you see Ninja has just gone into the pits.
So he's finally given up on those softs. Can the mediums take him to the end of the Grand Prix? That's the question. He could, if he keeps tabs on his tyres as Q-Tips his fast lap the Grand Prix, the 124.8, and there's Ozonola in P9. 2.5 seconds behind Q-Tip.
And Maxie must have lost a lot of time in Sector 2 that last lap. He's got Carbicon breathing all down his neck. And look at this. Carbicon blows the corner. Try and Catch goes to the outside. And he's going to go side by side with him as they head into the next corner. And it's not going to work. Carbicon's into the grass. He saves it. He's still side by side with Try and Catch.
Oh, and a little bit lost the back end. But Try and Catch does get the move done.
And here comes Q-Tip. And this is going to turn into a 4-car battle. Now, Maxie was able to separate himself a little bit from that as Carbon Con and Try and Catch went side by side through a lot of that.
Let's see what Q-Tip can do. Can he overtake these couple of cars? Get himself back up into the top 5. He's got the DRS on McLaren, who's having a look at the Try and Catch.
That's a very narrow part of the track to try and make a pass. Gallagher with another 3-second time penalty. I believe he's up to 16 seconds worth of penalties now.
Yeah, he's now having a good race down in P11. Meanwhile, these two still squabbling about.
Oh no, and the Try and Catch, he got pushed off. And now Carbicon's going to fall to the grasp of Q-Tip. DRS slot open, but Q-Tip, the faster driver, got a good run coming out of that last corner to the inside, and Q-Tip's going to easily make that position.
Meanwhile, Try and Catch is under pressure from the Ferrari of Ozonola. He is not quite in DRS, but he has a considerable better exit for the last corner. Unfortunately. Oh, and
Ozone!
Try and Catch has run wide, and he's got the move done up into P8. Very smart move. Capitalised on trying to catch his mistake, and he's pulled away from him already. Try and catch, got grass on his tyres, now will obviously affect him as the McLaren of Capricorn picks up a free.
And here comes Q-Tip to the inside of Maxie Wilcox, and he easily makes that pass, and it looks like Maxie might have let him go, to be honest with you.
I think that's one of the battles he wants to be, but McLaren is all over his gearbox. They're about to fly into the middle sector, into the last sector actually. Meanwhile, up in front, nothing happening. Just Corey actually up in front for the top four. Here comes Q-Tip in that bracket now as he's pulling away from Max. Let's see what Max can do. Can he hold out for the next few laps? We're about to start lap 17 of this Grand Prix, and Max jumps into the pits.
That's going to hand the spot over to KAMIKAZE, and it looks like only after 8 laps, though. That's hard to say. Has he got any wing damage?
We'll find out. No, he didn't, unless he just didn't like those tyres. He's gone to the mediums now. It should get him to the end of the Grand Prix.
Epic the Animal has worked his way back up into 3rd, and he's closing the gap down to Khalifa. He's almost within the DRS range of Khalifa. And Gallagher picks up another 3-second time penalty.
19 seconds worth of time penalties for Ben Gallagher this afternoon. He's in P10, and Max has got 3 seconds worth of time penalties. So that would mean Max would get P10 as it stands, as the race ended now. Meanwhile, Ninja and Try and Catch. Ninja's just got the move done, brought himself up in the P8. Meanwhile, for the scrap for P6, can Nola get the move done on the McLaren? He is closing a little bit, but I don't think it'll be enough for an overtake going into turn 13 for the Ferrari driver.
Now, KAMIKAZE's proven to be a fairly quick driver now. He's not fared very well today. He's been off into the grass a couple of times, mowing the lawn for some of these guys here at Albert Park, but if he can keep his composure, it can make life a little difficult for Ozone Nola in the Ferrari. But I think out of the 4 drivers that we can see, he's probably the slowest of that bunch. You've got Ninja coming, Ozone coming, and Try and Catch, who's had an up and down day as well. But those 4 cars could be battling for one spot here in the next few laps. Meanwhile, Epic is now within DRS range of Khalifa.
Yeah, should we to see, can Epic get the move up to P2 and launch himself against the leader and the championship leader of this Grand Prix? They're on the same age of tyres as Khalifa just lost the back end. That'll lose him a lot of time. Maybe he might fall into the traps of KCG in the Alfa Romeo. I haven't spoken about him much in this Grand Prix, but could cause a surprise at the end of this Grand Prix. Meanwhile, the gap between 6, 7, 8 has closed down a little bit, considerably actually.
And now we do have that 3-car battle now. Oh, this is not going to work. Oh, 3 wide into the corner. Look at this Q-Tip trying to go up the middle. He's going to try and get the power down, try and steal that 2-for-1 deal. He's not going to be able to get it in this corner. And now the Ferrari of Ozo is going to do a little bit of the chrome horn. Give him a little bit of a bump and run heading into that corner. Things settle for just a second.
See what Ninja can do. Can you get the move done on the McLaren? Nola wanted it so much. But he did have a look, but I don't think it'd be enough. Going to turn 1. Nola be disappointed for that. Lost position while he's trying to get another one. Dropping considerably behind as Ninja goes for a move. A little bit moving in the braking zone there as Epic picks up a time penalty. Also Nola will be fighting back at this one. He hopes that these two can get a little bit of a scrap involved. Maybe make a little bit of contact. He's all over the back of the Williams going into the second sector. So she'll release the McLaren for a little bit longer.
Meanwhile, KAMIKAZE is trying his best to try and hold on to that car, hang on to that spot. Ozone Nola picks up a 3-second time penalty. KAMIKAZE trying to take away the line, and Ninja to the outside. Oh, and he gets caught out! Contact from Ninja to KAMIKAZE. And KAMIKAZE's gone around. Here comes Ben Gallagher, and he'll probably get another time penalty for cutting that corner.
that's unfortunate for Ozanola. He's lost a lot of time to Ninja, but there in the last sector.
I mean, Ninja was trying to go around the outside, slammed the door on Carbon Con, and just happened to catch the front nose of the McLaren. Carbon Con's still in the points, though. And Ozone not out of DRS range, so...
He was out of it for the active detection point. He's closed the gap. A very good exit the last corner for the Ferrari driver. So that's made him very impressed. So hopefully he can catch up and get the move done up into P6. Time will tell. He's used those hard for 12 laps. Well, Ninja's on far fresher and faster mediums. Only 5 laps used on those medium tyres. There's a yellow flag in sector 3. But there's nothing I can see unless it's Fozzie's going for a little bit of a mistake. Up in front, nothing much happening. Epic nearly 6 seconds behind our leader in the racing point. Looks like has been dominating this Grand Prix ever since the last safety car came in.
Khalifa's getting a little bit of pressure from KCG. KCG trying to close into that gap. It's now under 2.5 seconds. Really, the closest battle on track is between Ozone and Ninja. The battle for 6th, unfortunately, as this race winds down.
Nothing wrong with a battle for P6, 8 championship points if you get that. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with a scrap for P6. You have to enjoy these moments. see what Ozanola can do in these last few laps. Meanwhile, no, I thought there was a car there, but it was CC13 who left the session after the spin then. Well, this could cause confusion. Ninja's got the move done on the Ghost, and Ozanola will just breeze through him. Yeah, he's just flirting between a second, just over there, at the second split.
He can just stay within that DRS range.
I think he is now. He's 1.3 seconds off. You'll have to hope for Ninja to get some mistakes on him.
And Maxie Wilcox picks up a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. Currently running in the 11th spot.
The penalty count is equal between the pair. So I'd say that he wants Ozanola want Ninja to do a mistake, as Ben Gallagher just overtaken the try and catch there. But we've considerably dropped as Khalifa has gone into the pits.
Khalifa's gone into the pits, and he's going to switch over to the softs.
Oh no,
Maxi's retired from the session.
It's the exit at turn 11 again, and a safety car.
A safety car! Oh my goodness!
Khalifa, big time.
If these guys pit for new tires, Khalifa is going to look like a genius. As we see Maxi's car off to the side of that turn 11 complex again. He was called out so many drivers today. And unfortunately, another safety car on lap 22 of 29. You see a lot of these guys diving to the pits. Ben Gallagher, Carbon Con try and catch.
All putting on soft tyres. They think they can hold out until the end of the Grand Prix. All new shiny soft tyres going onto their cars. You know, there's also Ozanola on 14-lap-old hard tyres. I do hope he makes a pit stop for the sake of his result. Well, he would lose time, but it would be a free pit stop as well. Comfortably join in roughly P7 or P8. So what will the leaders do? Will they stay out? Will they think those tyres can make it to the end of the Grand Prix? Actually, the two Williams, but
I don't think they're concerned as to whether or not they can make it. I think their concern's going to be if they're going to be fast enough. We do see Rita has dived into the pits, and he is going to swap over to, I'm going to assume, soft
Epic
with a 3-second time penalty.
He's picked up a 3-second time penalty for cutting the corner going into the pits, I think. That last corner cut was for. I don't know if that's true or not, but...
And it looks like Q-Tip is going to stay out.
Oh, Q-Tip's going very brave here. He's in the lead of the Grand Prix.
And he is going to take the lead under the safety car through the pit sequence. And Q-Tip, that is a ballsy move. that tells me Q-Tip thinks he's got the confidence and the speed to take the win of this race, even with somebody like Rita nipping at his heels on the soft tires. And look at the slew of cars behind him. In fact, everybody's on soft tires all the way down to TC13, who
and he's not even in the lobby.
Left the session, so the car is AI at this point.
Everyone else is on
Q-Tip
softs.
is on mediums, and not just mediums, he's on worn 10-lap-old mediums. So a bold move by Q-Tip.
This is either going to be the most anticlimactic or one of the best endings to a Grand Prix I'll ever watch. There's Fozzie Wozzie in the McLaren down in P12.
And Khalifa, who pitted and fell down early right before the safety car, now finds himself sitting in 4th spot. And really, depending on how well Q-Tip runs on those mediums, he could be looking at a potential podium here.
Yeah, I think everyone is in with a shout of a race win yet.
And not to mention, Epic the Animal's got, what, 2 time penalties worth 3 seconds apiece, so Epic could be losing a couple spots here if they finish this close together. It's only going to be a handful of laps when this is all over. 4 safety cars today. That's got to be some sort of HTA record for the season.
Yeah, Q-Tip has not got a penalty. Khalifa has not got a penalty. The rest have. KCG has not got a penalty as well. Ninja's got a penalty. Also, Nola has got a penalty. Ben Gallagher will be got about 16, 19, 17 penalties. Carbicon's got a penalty. Try and catch. Who's made 4 pit stops in this Grand Prix. Has got a penalty. Harry has not got a penalty. Well, it should be interesting to see. Penalties could play a massive factor at the end of this Grand Prix. So the safety car should be ending at the end of lap 24. So we'd have lap 25, 26, 27.
Third Khalifa, who we missed last race, but had a pole position earlier in this year to kick off the season, starting in 4th. KCG has worked his way into the 5th spot, just outside of the podium. Ninja, who showed flashes of speed all race, in 6th. And Ozone is in 7th. Ben Gallagher, who's got so many time penalties, it probably doesn't matter where he finishes. He's probably going to fall outside of the top 10. He's currently in 8th. Try and Catch, who's had a rough day, in 9th. I'm sorry, Carbicon's in 9th. Try and Catch is in 10th. And Harry Cooper, he had that incident with his teammate. And Fozzie Wozzie, who's really been pretty quiet today, it's not outside the realm of possibility that he could maybe find himself with a couple of championship points at the end of this.
Anything could happen at the end of this Grand Prix, but if something that will happen, if Ozone Nola gets some considerable positions, I might be cheering a lot.
Oh, and Fozzie Wozzie picks up a 10-second time penalty for exceeding the track limits. He's pulled a Ben Gallagher, and the safety car is coming in this lap. So Q-Tip, the control car, and things are about to heat up. We're going to come across and start lap 25 of 29.
There's a ghost car of TC1392 in the middle of all this. So anything could happen by the time this restarts. When will Q-Tip go? That is the question.
A lot of guys have been saving it for that penultimate corner. Looks like he tried to fake him out there. He's going to go, he's going to slow down, and now he's going to go again.
I think this is the proper go. So runs away.
Looks like he's back on the gas. Carbon picks up a 3-second time penalty immediately. And we ride along with Rita. He's closing in on under the slipstream. And he's all over the gearbox of Q-Tip.
Ninja and KCG going side by side. KCG runs a little bit wide there. This could help Ben Gallagher and Ozone Nola. So will Ben Gallagher go for a move on KCG run the other side of the turn 3? No, that's not going to happen.
Oh, Q-Tip just lost the lead heading into turn 3. Has switched away from it. Rita makes the pass heading into turn 3. And here comes Epic. He's going to dive to the inside. And Epic is so close. Q-Tip's not going to be able to hold him off.
I think Q-Tip's going to be dropping quite a lot of positions in the next few laps. Those worn mediums are not going to help him one bit. And Epic goes down the inside of the turn 9. And it looks like he's got the move done. Very good move by Epic for that. And he's up to P2. Can he catch up to the race leader in the racing point? Anything can happen.
And can Khalifa find himself getting around Q-Tip to pick up that podium spot? Khalifa's only within half a second. Try and catch just picked up a 3-second time penalty. Khalifa closing in on Q-Tip. Q-Tip, I don't think the gamble worked out for him the way he expected it to. Rita was just too fast heading into turn 3.
Yeah, he starts lap 26 out of 29 of this Australian Grand Prix. As he sets a fast lap for Grand Prix at 23 flat. It looks like Q-Tip could be getting swamped in the next few laps.
And it looks like I just got some confirmation from Maxie Wilcox. He was running 5th when he crashed out. His DRS slot got stuck open, and he was unable to make that corner. That's why he crashed out. And Khalifa trying to work a way around Q-Tip. Q-Tip doing a very good job making that car as wide as possible, and Khalifa can't find a way around him.
Meanwhile, Ninja and KCG have joined this scrap, and I think it won't be long for Ben Gallagher and Ozone Nola to join in as well.
And now look at this. Ninja is going to try and work on the backside of Khalifa.
Who's having a look at Q-Tip as well. So
oh, no. Oh, and he gets touched.
And KCG is flown through, and he's getting 2 for the price of 1. I'll happily take that if I was KCG. He's up to P4.
KCG with the 2-for-1 deal. And Khalifa, who had a little bit of help from Ninja, almost spun the car, and now look at this to the inside. Ninja's going to try and take it away from Khalifa. Khalifa now, he's got his teammate beside him, Ben Gallagher, who's got so many time penalties. Oh no!
And Ozone Nola's.
And we've got ourselves a. So the DRS is enabled, and it looks like that was weird. Ozone's car didn't recognize Khalifa's car on the track.
Ozone ghosted through both Mercedes. He's up to P6. So if Q-Tip will do a little bit of that job of holding up again, I will be very happy for an Ozone perspective. But this is a league race perspective. I'm supposed to be staying neutral. But KCG round the outside of Q-Tip at turn 4. That's a fantastic move for a podium place. And will Ninja have a look at his teammate? This is the question.
Oh, and Q-Tip runs wide coming out there. He's cutting through the grass. This is getting very sloppy. And Ozone's going to be able to pick up another spot.
Inside, I am absolutely thrilled, but I'm trying my best to stay neutral. Will Ozone Nola get a move on Ninja? There's only they're about to start. Well, they're in the last sector. They're about to start the penultimate lap. Meanwhile, up in front, not much happening. A 1.6 second gap between these two.
Oh, and that's a Williams into the wall.
And that's Q-Tip.
Q-Tip, he crashed. Yellow flag sector 3. Q-Tip on those warm mediums trying to put the power down, and it looks like he did what so many other drivers have done today and just lose the back end under power. And into the wall he went. I don't think he had any help. Meanwhile, Ninja trying to find a way around KCG for that last spot on the podium.
What can Nola do? Can he get involved? Or will it just be a straight scrap between the Williams and the Alfa Romeo?
It looks like a 3-car battle starting to materialize between KCG and the Alfa Romeo. Ninja in the Williams and Ozone in that Ferrari. And look at that, Ninja picked up a 3-second time penalty, so that could really cost him, especially as close together as these cars are running.
KCG's got no penalties. That is Ninja's 3rd of the Grand Prix.
Wow. 9 seconds worth of penalties. That would drop him deep into the field.
And Nola's only got 2. So he's got 6 seconds of penalties. So, really, I can't see Ozone Nola. I can't see none.
Oh, to the inside, Ninja. Oh, and Ninja makes contact with him and goes around.
And that'll promote Ozone Nola to P4. Could he potentially sneak a P3 podium? That'd make me very happy at the end of this Grand Prix as they're about to start the final lap. Rudder, he's controlled it. Ever since he's got the lead, he's controlled it. Epic Animal started on pole. Just couldn't quite get in front of the racing point. KCG.
And Fozzie has just gone around. Oh, Fozzie went around his teammate, but he drives off into the grass. So Fozzie found himself in points-paying position and then just lost out to it on his teammate as he blew the corner.
Meanwhile, the scrap for third isn't over yet. I think KCG will be on for P3 unless some miraculous shenanigans happen at the end of this Grand Prix. But Khalifa picks up a 3-second time penalty. I think it got affected much compared to Ben Gallagher's in front of him. But let's see what Ozanola can do. Can he get up into P3? At least finish third on track. Then anything could happen. Of course, race still its room.
Last couple of corners here.
Oh,
on a big wiggle there by Ozone as he came out of that corner.
My heart's beating quite fast. We
thought about it.
Did have a think.
Meanwhile, Rita's coming through the penultimate corner, and Ben Gallagher just picked up another 3-second time penalty. Here comes Rita across the line. Another win, and shortly followed by him is going to be Epic the Animal. KCG trying to hold off a hard-charging Ozone. KCG's going to be able to do it. And now the time penalties are going to start to come into play. KCG up to second. Epic drops to third. Ozone fourth. Khalifa into fifth. Try and catch is seventh. Ben Gallagher falls all the way to the 8th spot, 9th spot. And Fozzie Wozzie all of a sudden finds himself in a points-paying position as he's limping his car.
I think he's run out of fuel. I hope not. Which is gonna.
Here comes Fozzie Wozzie.
That's one of the upsets of the Grand Prix. That is.
Nope, Carbon Con.
Oh, he's nicked the last point unless penalties mean something. But apparently on my screen, LR Harry's jumped to P4, which is something miraculous. You don't think you cannot be the entirety of the Grand Prix.
And Fozzie Wozzie does finally come across the line out of fuel, and that is going to be an 11th place finish for him. So, what a crazy race. And time penalties, a huge factor in today's race. We'll take a look at the unofficial results here in just another minute, but another win for Rita. And I believe this one is going to stick. That is going to be Rita's third win of the season.
So, LR Harry didn't pick up a single penalty in the entirety of the race. He was down in P7 or P8, I think he was, and he's come across the line and he's finishing P4. That's remarkable. Ozanola, if he didn't pick up that late penalty, he could have been easily on for a P4 there.
So here's your unofficial results for today's Grand Prix. Rita with the win. KCG up into second place. Epic the Animal drops to third. Harry Cooper into fourth. Ozanola is fifth. Khalifa sixth. Try and Catch is seventh. Ninja eighth. Ben Gallagher still manages to put some points on the board at ninth. And Carbon Con 10th, snatching it away from Fozzie Wozzie. TC 13 is 12th. Q-Tip crashes out. That is the beginning of mini DNFs. That is DNFs for Q-Tip, Maxie Wilcox, Charlie Sampson, Art and Center. That's David Wallbank and AB53 Mo. What an unbelievable race today.
Well, first of all, I'm absolutely heartbroken for Fozzie Wozzie. So unfortunate to run out of fuel at the end of a 50% rally race. And I'd like to give a little shout out to Ozanola. Started P10, finishing in P5. A very good drive, which has made me a little bit more happier this evening. But a very good race, very good drive from Ritter and Epic the Animal in P2. So we go again next week.
Unbelievable race today, and I'm just kind of speechless at the really what a race. I mean, we had 4 safety cars. The racing on track was pretty exceptional for the most part. A lot of hard chargers coming from the back of the field. Time penalties a huge issue at the end of this race, and then we saw a lot of incidences between teammates. We had the 2 Red Bulls, the 2 Ferraris at one point. So really, I mean, a big day for a lot of these guys, and Rita with another win, extending his championship points lead, but KCG, his championship contender, still nipping in his heels, trying to see if he can close that points gap. So it's going to be tough. It's a short season. It's only 14 races, but Guys, check us out again next week. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment to the HTA RL channel. Check out the previous week's races. You can also check out the Elite League where they run with no assists. That's for the big boys, definitely not for me. They run earlier in the day.
Used to be me.
You can check that out as well. And you can check out Ozone Leaston. He's going to be racing in the International Racing League. That'll be kicking off, I guess, are you racing F2 or F3 or F1?
I am put down for a reserve F3, so hopefully after we fall out of Monaco, so I can just swoop along and drive at 30 miles per hour and hopefully claim a dodgy podium.
So you can check out Leaston tomorrow at the International Racing League F3 race. That's 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll be commentating International Racing League F2 for tomorrow while he's racing in F3. So check us out if you want to. Like, subscribe, and comment to the International Racing League YouTube channel and HTA RL. Hit the Apex Racing League. Guys, catch us next week. We'll be doing it again for round 6. We'll see you guys at the next round.